I'd like to call to order the meeting for the Lansing Charter Commission. Today's date is July 15th, 2025. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Adam Simon.
Present.
Commissioner Anderson.
Here.
Commissioner Bauer.
Here.
Commissioner Boyd.
Here.
Commissioner Dowd.
Here.
Commissioner Jeffries.
Here.
Commissioner Lopez. Commissioner Coe. Commissioner Washington. There are 7 members present, a quorum. Commissioners Lopez and Washington are absent.
For Commissioner Lopez, he did indicate he was not going to be here tonight, so if you could have an excused absence, please. Pardon me? I'm sorry. Commissioner Lopez indicated that he was not going to be able to be here due to a family issue, so he will be excused from tonight's meeting. Now is the time to adopt the agenda. Is there a motion? It's been moved and supported. All those in favor say aye. Aye. The agenda has been adopted. Motion being ordered to approve the June 24th, 2025 minutes. It's been moved and supported. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Minutes, and those opposed? Minutes are approved. Now's the time for public comment.
I see now none.
Even Brina is not here tonight. What, that really hurts, so.
I'm sure she's watching.
Yeah, okay. All right, moving on to officer reports. Under the chair, I have a couple of items. I know you've all received today the letter from the Attorney General indicating that they did the review of our charter and have approved it and has sent it back to us. So I assume at this point then, Chris, you're going to be able to send on our approved resolution to the clerk.
Generally, within a few days, we will probably get a letter from the governor as well.
Okay.
The Attorney General letter was actually addressed to the governor,
Okay.
but yes, we should be able to send it.
Don't want to jump the gun. And Kristen, congratulations. All right. Commissioner Boyd.
Well, the clerk just answered my question because we've heard from the Attorney General's office, but we had not heard from the governor's office, and I wondered if we needed to do one or the other. So good to know that that letter was addressed to the governor, and hopefully we'll hear from her soon.
So then when we do get the notification, you'll then pass the resolution on to the county clerk? Okay.
Exactly, yes.
All right. So we don't have to do anything else with that?
No.
Okay, great. Also in your packet, you did receive a list of potential community meeting dates and times and locations. As you know, at our last meeting, we had asked Chris's office to reach out and see if we could put something together. So what you have are similar meetings that we had when we started. We've got one, two, 3, and 4 at different days, starting late August and then going to the 3rd week of September. So I'd ask that you just review that. Let's make sure that everybody can be in attendance on those meetings. Commissioner Boyd?
I looked at this list, and I'm fine with it, with one exception, and that is the Ward 3 meeting. It seems to me, I recall at one of our meetings, there was the thought that we didn't want to have a community meeting prior to Labor Day for all kinds of obvious reasons. People aren't paying attention, you know, the absentee ballots won't go out until the end of September. So I guess I'd like the clerk's office to advise on why you're recommending August 20th.
Emery?
I believe it was in coordination with the,
Well said, the end of August to the middle of September. That is the date that falls within those parameters.
Okay.
If you'd like us to reach out and look for a different date, we can do that.
Would that,
Ward 3 is not yet confirmed.
Do we know, may I?
Go ahead.
Do we know, is this a special meeting, or is this a meeting of their regular monthly meeting?
All of those are regular meetings so far, but for the
So they meet on the 3rd Wednesday of the month, is that what you're telling me?
yes.
So if not that, it would be September 17th. I don't really care. I can't be there on the 17th. I'm just asking the question. As it is, I can be at all these meetings. Doesn't
So,
matter.
Emery, did everybody reply to this list?
I have not heard back from anyone in Ward 3.
Okay, so we're still, all
So
right.
we don't know if Ward 3 would be willing to have a special meeting. They want it to be part of their regular meeting, but we don't know if they would have a special meeting, correct?
I do not know, though they were very accommodating last year and said that we were welcome back.
But that was part of their regular meeting, their
Well-
monthly meeting.
So,
I think the question should be asked.
Okay. Emery, if you could just follow through with them to find out what their availability is, and then she can then let us know. On which one? August 20th? Okay. 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 How's everybody else situated for the meetings?
I can attend all these meetings.
Commissioner Bauer, you are thinking?
I can't do if it's Saturday, September 6th, I have a funeral, so I can't go to that one.
Okay, so Wednesday, the 10th, you would be
I
available.
could do Wednesday.
Okay, so let's look for Wednesday, the 10th.
Oh, that's right.
Jasmine?
I'm just sharing, I am unavailable Wednesday evenings in general, and so I would not be able to attend any of these, but I just wanted
Say that
to
again.
put that out there.
Jasmine,
Yeah,
say
each
that.
I'm
of these-
unavailable on Wednesday evenings because of a conflict, so I won't be able to attend any of these. Not asking for any adjustment, just sharing that.
Okay. Anybody else? All right, we'll work on this and get information back to everybody. Okay. And then finally, as we were discussing prior to the meeting, some of us have been having some difficulty with our city computers and phones. And what I'd ask everybody to do is if, by tomorrow, if you could reach out to Emery, give them just one set of contact information that you want to use, that we would be able to communicate with everybody with. I've gone back to my Gmail account and to my personal phone, and I've turned in my equipment. I know some of others have done the same. But so we're all on the same page, everybody's getting the same emails at the same time. It's, a lot of it's been inconvenience. For me, it's a technical thing where I work, where I have my computer. So, but I just want to make sure that we've got everybody's contact information, so everybody's communicating. Commissioner Boyd.
Emery knows very well that the internet was not working on my city computer. I could not get any of the emails that Emery was sending us on my email. I was like done with it. Threw it away. I sent it all back and wished them all well. And I have my personal email and my phone number, which I think most people know, and happy to share it. Emery has it.
Sure, go ahead.
So does that make our personal emails part of public?
It would be part of a public domain.
Potentially subject to FOIA for things related to the commission. So,
Should have a separate
and we have worked with our IT department to add those personal emails that we know several of you are using to the Charter Commission at lansingmi.gov email. So you should start seeing those if there are any more come directly to you.
I have to say
Commissioner Boyd.
publicly, the worst IT department I have ever dealt with. I mean, I called them today to try to put Duo app on my personal cell, and they didn't know how to do it, and they said they would call me back. They should be ashamed of themselves.
All right. Any other comments? Okay, so please get us your contact information by tomorrow. That's all I have. Madam Vice Chair.
No report.
Mr. Clerk.
Just as usual, there is a written communication in the packet from a constituent. And then in terms of the budget, the commission has spent just under $264,000 to date, with remaining $235,000.
Commissioner Boyd.
I'd like to know, as I was reviewing some of the proposals today, and this came as a bit of a surprise to me that we even put an RFP out, but I would be curious to know, we have $235,232.61 in the budget. I'd like to know what that number would be if we have to continue our work in 2026. I mean, we hope that it will pass the voters in November, but if it doesn't, then we have to make a decision as a commission. Will we go forward? Will we make changes? Will we meet? So I think we have to have a budget available depending on what that is. So I'd be curious to know if you've done the math, if you know that number.
We have not. If the proposal does not pass, we would have no idea how many additional meetings the commission would want to have. So, I mean, that's really kind of would end up being up to the commission at that point in time. But I do think you are raising a good point that the commission should not be looking to spend $235,000.
Well,
Or probably anywhere near that.
Yeah, I understand, but we know some givens. We know that, for example, any work we had to do in 2026 would have to be done by the 1st of June in order to meet the state requirements. So we know that in our past practice, we've met twice a month on the Tuesday. So just going on the basic understandings that we have, we should be able to put at least a number to it. So I would suggest that we do that.
Thank you. Commissioner Washington.
I agree with Commissioner Boyd. I think we do have to keep it in mind. I, too, was surprised that an RFP was put out for this, but I am also not opposed to being fiscally responsible and returning money back to the city. We don't have to spend it just because it's here.
Commissioner Dowd.
And just a point of clarification, I believe there's a max that we're all eligible to receive regardless of how many times we meet. Is that correct? Wasn't it 18,000 max?
It's 90 meetings.
90 meetings. And then after that, we would meet and not get paid anyway. So we can kind of back
But
into
there's
that.
still back of house
Right.
staffing.
Sure. I just mean from our perspective, which is,
Okay, we'll keep that in mind then as we move forward. So, Clerk Swope, any other board?
No, thank you.
Okay. All right, moving down the agenda to new business, RFP for Public Relations Services. And I think this was part of the communication problem. After our meeting our last meeting, I believe on July 2nd, I sent everybody an email with a copy of the RFP with a list of organizations that had expressed interest or were receiving a copy of the RFP, also with a timetable of reviewing them tonight, hopefully making a decision tonight or if within the next couple of days because of the tight time frame that we have. Also, there was a request to keep August 7th open with the possibility that we would have to come back and have a meeting after hearing from the AG and the governor that we had to make certain amendments. That was probably the last possible date that we would have available for us to do that. Obviously, that is not going to happen at this point because there has been the approval given, so that there'll be no need for that meeting date. So that's where we are. We've received 6 proposals from various firms. 3 of the firms were local, and that is Lansing related. We had 1 firm from Grand Rapids, 1 from Detroit, and 1 from Midland. You have a notebook in front of you that breaks down each one of the RFPs and then has a rubric in the front of it as to how the RFP is to be weighted to come up with a score in terms of helping us move forward to pick the firm that we want to use in this regard. Now, the one thing, and you probably noticed it looking at the RFPs, we were asking in there kind of like for everything. So when we are looking at the RFPs, there are things that we can cut out. There are things that we can include, and then there's obviously going to be a price tag attached to each one of those things, but we wanted to be as broad as we could with the understanding that we can narrow that based on budget and what our needs might be. So does anyone have any questions at this point? Commissioner Boyd?
Brian, you and I talked earlier today, and when I had time this afternoon, I started to go through the proposals. I got through 3 of them. I will not be prepared to vote tonight. If there has to be a special meeting, fine, but I cannot vote tonight because I have not read all the proposals.
Okay. Commissioner Cui?
I was gonna ask the same question. Do you want us to vote on them?
It's going to be up to whatever you all feel like doing. And if people are not comfortable, we can have a special meeting. I would request that we do it rather sooner than later, only because of the time crunch that we have. I mean, for example, would Thursday night of this week be open to hold?
No. I could do next Tuesday, though.
Okay. How's everybody feel about next Tuesday?
It's tomorrow,
Pardon me?
tomorrow night.
No,
Is everybody open tomorrow night?
I'm not.
Okay. All right.
Is anyone opposed to next Tuesday, meeting next Tuesday?
What did you say?
Next
I
Tuesday.
said next Tuesday, so a week from today.
Yeah.
That would give us enough time to,
Okay.
I can do that.
With
oh, wait a minute, I can't do next Tuesday. I'm talking about, I'm leaving Saturday for 8 days.
All right, in terms of moving forward then, how would you want to handle tonight? If we're going to have another meeting, obviously, some of you have not had an opportunity to go through these. Do you want to take whatever time that we need for the rest of the week to go over this and then come back with the idea that we'll do this? Or do you want to run through these now, or how do you want to do this? How do you want to proceed? Commissioner Cui.
If we don't have anything else on our agenda, I think, can we run through them tonight and work through them?
Commissioner Washington.
I will not be ready to vote tonight. I don't even know if I think we need a PR firm. I want time to go through this thoroughly. I don't want to do it knee-jerk.
Commissioner Boyd.
Well, I would say this, that the work has to be done. Either the PR firm has to do it or the staff has to do it. And I'm not opposed to a firm doing it. I have gone through at least 3 of the proposals. I have written down notes, I have questions. I haven't weighed them against what we ask of the firms. Maybe we didn't ask them some of the things, the questions that I have. But I'm happy to go through what my notes were, and I'm available next Tuesday to meet. I'm available anytime between Thursday noon and Monday morning. I'm not available. So I'm not opposed to hiring a company. And I'm not opposed to spending money. I think even looking at the budget that we have, even if we have to have a contingency budget set aside for 2026, I think we would still be able to send money back to the city, because I don't think we'll spend as much, especially since people are turning back their equipment, so there's fewer bills to be paid. So whatever.
Commissioner Cui.
This is a pretty thick packet, and I'm sitting here looking at this. What about if we all met on the 29th? That gives us 2 weeks to thoroughly go through this and write down our questions, concerns that we have of it.
The problem with the 29th is that I do think, one of the questions that I had here is that you had one company that talked about the November 4th election. This is not a November 4th election. People get their AV ballots September 25th. Is that the day you send them out? So, these folks, ever who we hire, if we hire, has to move quickly. They've got to put together a plan, and they've got to get it to the printer, and they've got to get it in the mail, and all of that takes time. And as it is, they're going to have, 8 weeks? So I think the 29th is a little light. I'm willing, I could meet tomorrow, I could meet Thursday during the day, I could meet next Tuesday, but I think to wait till the 29th might be pushing it a bit.
But again,
My
if we're going to
thoughts.
thoroughly try to go through this information, I'm looking.
What we
at
could
this
do
here.
tonight, each one of these, if you look, just say, look at the first RFP that you have in front of you. You see the rubric on the front page. These are the criteria, the weighting criteria that we're going to use to do the selection. We could go over that tonight, so everybody has an understanding of how this is going to work. Then we could spend a couple of days, everybody could go through this, maybe do their evaluation at that point, and then come back and take it up. And so, go ahead, Commissioner Bauer.
I'm not necessarily recommending this, but I am thinking, kind of like we did with the attorney. I mean, is there any, would it be helpful if we narrowed it down to 2 or 3 and had someone come in? Or do we think we can just,
If
I mean, I can go either, I don't have strong feelings either way, but this is a big decision. I mean, I think an important decision, the education, so.
Well, when I looked at I'll give you my opinion.
Yeah.
When I looked at these and went through them today, I think one thing that struck me, particularly on this type of campaign that we're going to be doing, that there are 3 firms that are local firms that I think have a pretty good understanding of who and what Lansing is and how it's made up and has some connection. The firm, and I'm not disparaging any of the other firms, but we have firms from Grand Rapids, Midland, Detroit, and I just don't think they would have that kind of understanding that these other firms do. So, I mean, I would not object to doing a paper cut and reducing it to the 3 firms that are local and have them come in at the next meeting, a rep from each one of them. If anyone has any questions, you can ask them then. Commissioner Boyd?
And not only that, to your point, you know, when you look at the cost, you know, people who are coming from Detroit or Grand Rapids or Midland have a travel cost involved, and they aren't familiar with the city of Lansing. And so when I was going through the firms today, I went through the 3 that I've gone through are the Lansing firms.
Okay.
You know, and I have copious notes. I'd be happy to share them verbally with people in case it would help you as you look at the companies. Maybe you have the same questions I do. I don't know.
Commissioner Washington?
I really don't want to hear who anybody's favoring right now because I don't want to be swayed one way or the other, but I will tell you that I will only vote for a Lansing firm. I think Lansing money should be spent on Lansing businesses, so those will probably be the only ones that I'll look at.
Okay. Commissioner?
Well, when we say Lansing, we might be talking Lansing area. I don't know if they're located in the city of Lansing.
There's East Lansing, 2 in Lansing, 1 in East Lansing. But it's the Lansing area. That's what I was thinking. Anyway, so if you want, do you want to focus on the rubric tonight? Look at the criteria. This can be edited, so if you have any questions, concerns, let's hash it out now. Commissioner Dow.
I think just a question, and maybe, Emery, you can help us with this. Can you send a copy of the RFP back out? Because I think that is an issue. Like, I don't remember seeing the copy because I didn't get that email.
I had attached the copy of the RFP and the cheat sheet that we finished up. But we'll resend
Yeah,
it.
okay, just so we can compare what was, thank you.
Commissioner, or Clerk Swope, sorry. I don't have anything to do with it.
One thing, because Commissioner Boyd mentioned some questions, and I think so that we all get the same questions and answers, I think once we figure out when the meeting is, the questions should be funneled through my office so we can ask the questions of all the firms under consideration. So it's kind of, they get the same opportunity to answer if there are any additional questions. So I think, funnel them through us so that we can make sure that they're all kind of getting, and it might be that some of them already answered it in their proposal very clearly, but still, I think our purchasing department would appreciate if we kind of, and I think that's the way they do all of the bids, is kind of like they all get the same question.
So are we operating under the understanding that they're going to come before us next week?
I don't believe so. I think it would be a written response.
I think it'd be a written response.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think they need to come
Yeah, I
before
think it
us.
would be that we would, if we get questions, we'll compile them, get rid of duplicates,
Correct.
send them to all of the bidders, and compile the responses. So.
Commissioner Quinn. Commissioner Boyd?
Some of mine are not questions, they're just observations. You know, for example, I'm going to give you an
And for that, I
example.
would just caution that if you shared them through email to other commissioners, you want to make sure you don't get to a quorum, because then you're doing
Gotcha.
debate outside of a meeting. So again, that Open Meetings Act thing, you know, maybe one or two, but not with the whole commission.
Okay. All right, so on the rubric, if we can all just focus on that for a second. There are 4 factors that we were looking at: experience, understanding of the project, method of approach, and affordability. You can see in the box itself, those criteria are listed on the left-hand side. There's percentages that have been assigned to each one of those pieces of criteria. And then as you move to the right, there's ideal, adequate, insufficient, non-existent as to each one of those criteria. And there's some narrative there that you can look at. So that's what we're going to do, is we're going to be with those criteria in mind and going through each one of the RFPs. We will be signing a number for each one of those criteria, and we'll see where everything comes out in terms of scoring, and it's usually the score that will result in the pick. But I want you to take a few moments to go through the language. I want to make sure that everybody's comfortable with what the definition of experience is, understanding of project, method, approach, affordability, and all these other things. So, Commissioner Boyd.
Commission Chair, I'm lost. I'm looking at the proposal that you sent to me in the mail, in the email,
Okay.
that was sent out. I mean, I have the
Mhm.
example of what we've done, past and present, but I guess I'm not quite sure that this is, I don't know where I'm looking.
You- It's in your binder.
The one under 98 forward.
It's the same
That's,
rubric for
they're all going to be like that.
The
So,
rubric is the
and then behind that is their specific proposal, which will look different than what I sent out. What I sent out was the RFP. They have their actual response that would be behind the rubric, and that's what you'd look at and review to weigh your decision. Emery.
The criteria are from the purchasing office, and they're what was in the RFP. The definitions for experience and understanding of project are the language that appeared in the RFP. You're welcome to skew the rubric as you wish. I just threw that together, but that's where that language is coming from, just so you have that context.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions? You want to take a few more moments? Go ahead, Commissioner Boyd.
I hate to be so vocal on all this, it's just that I don't quite understand what we're asking for. For example, when I went through these proposals, I was like, well, who are they using as vendors? And where are their vendors coming from? And I don't see that anywhere here in this rubric. Or should it be, or is it? And I just don't know. It could be. But I mean, I'd like to know if somebody's going to use a vendor to print material, where is that printer? Is that printer in Lansing? Is that printer in Ingham County? Is that printer in Detroit? I need to know that. I'd like to know that.
Yeah, some of the requests or the responses have that information in there. Some of them have indicated they use.
Some have it and some don't.
Right.
But that could be your question,
That's-
ones that don't, that would send back to them.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Which ones have it? Because I got to tell you, when I was going through, I didn't see it.
Yeah, one of the 3 locals did, Commissioner Washington.
And to piggyback on Commissioner Boyd, I'd like to know if they're union. I want to know if the printers union. I want to.
Let's send the questions in so we can get them out. Let's have these questions, say, by Thursday at 5 o'clock. Send them into the clerk's office, and then we'll get them out right away. Commissioner Boyd.
I hate to be I hate to be a nitpicker, but I have to be because I don't understand it. So, for example, and I mentioned it earlier, the election is November 4th. Some of the applicants talked about a November 4th election. They made no reference to the fact that there are AV ballots and that people will start voting on September 26th when they get their AV ballot.
Right.
How do you reconcile that, and where do you put that? I don't know.
Yeah, when you look at a number of these RFPs, they do reference the AV ballots going out by.
Some do, but some don't.
Right, and those that don't, I would assume that maybe they didn't know. And, I mean, if they're referencing the general election, why aren't, or the November election date, why aren't they going back and look at the others? I mean, I would, if you want to ask that as a question, we can do that, but, you know, I would be looking at it, maybe they didn't know. And that would be a point off. Just my thought. Does anyone have any changes that they want to make to the rubric language? Anything? Kristen? Nope. You're awfully quiet. Commissioner Washington?
I don't know who made this criteria, but when you're talking about method of approach, what are you looking for? Whoever made this up, I guess, are you looking for, they're gonna go to the news, they're gonna do literature, they're gonna do radio broadcasts? I mean, all of that costs money, so I guess I'm just wondering.
Method of approach is what purchasing gave to you when you were looking to hire an attorney. That is all they said.
So I guess it would be you're the one scoring them. So do you think their method of approach is good, bad, or ugly?
Too much or too little? Okay.
I mean, if you look at them, they're all fairly similar. I mean, they talk about a print campaign, they talk about a social media campaign, and they talk about the media. And that would be the. Yeah. There's a few. Well, they're talking about yard signs too, so. Any other, Mr. Jackson?
I would just add that we took the attorney RFP and then we set clear the primer, when ballots would be delivered as a key date. The election date were key dates and given that background information. And as you, in the original proposal, so they were given those dates. And if they don't have those dates, that, you know, it'd be either a question or do they know what they're doing? In terms of the criteria was again brought forth from what you all approved when we did the attorney RFP, and then the only change was dealing with affordability in much as the way of the, you know, the charter language of what is the best value versus what was the cheapest. So that's where the percentage and criteria was based on, was the RFP that you already, you know, approved for the attorney and then changed it for the, you know, the public relations firm. So that's where that language and that process came from, is something that was already out there. And two firms that did not apply said that an early August date is possible, you know, still with the realm of running a campaign, that would be enough time. So making the decision by, you know, the end of the month. But these two who asked for their opinion did not apply. So, so outside of, you know, inside the public relation arena felt, you know, making a decision by the end of the month was an adequate amount of time to still hit, mail has to hit by a certain date. And I would assume most of them use multiple vendors, because if you're working on multiple, you know, campaigns and information operations around elections, one printer may be able to deliver on time, and another printer in another town, maybe have the capacity. So my sense is, most of these firms, if they have their money's worth, would have multiple vendors, because you gotta get that mail hit at a certain date, and you would have who can get you to that. But it'd be good to know who is, it's a great question of who are their vendors are, but my sense is that they, and historically when working, you would use with the printer that can get the job done in that amount of time, so they'll probably list multiple vendors.
The email that I sent? Yeah, I sent you a copy of that email. And did that have the attachment as well, Emery?
They sent the RFP, not your message. Brian's message was to the commissioners, not to, what's that? Yeah, yeah.
It's in the RFP. If you're asking if I communicated with these vendors, I did not. It was all run through the clerk's office. So, all right, any other questions with this language? So everybody's good with that? Okay, so I want, if you could, please get your contact information in tomorrow, and then by Thursday at 5, all your questions. And then we'll get those sent out. The last thing we got to do is figure out a date to meet. When are you leaving? Saturday. You don't have to say publicly. Is anybody be at your house? Okay. So you're going to leave Saturday, and then when do you get back? Okay. All right.
Everybody might not be able to make it.
All right, let's see what we can do to make things work. Is everybody available for the 29th, Tuesday, the 29th? Okay,
That's okay. We'll work around it.
okay. Brian? Go ahead. And Vice
Is
Chair.
everybody gonna be here at every meeting, though? I mean, can, like, for instance, if he's gonna be out of town, can he review his packet and just send his group again to the clerk's office?
Yeah.
How does, I mean, what?
I mean, if someone's not here and they fill out the Rubik,
Sorry.
Well, I mean, the vote has to be in an open meeting. So he could certainly submit comments, but the actual vote for who you pick is gonna have to be an open meeting with a quorum of people here.
okay. Okay. Brian, would the 29th, based on what you know in terms of timing and everything, is that going to work for these folks?
That was the impression I got from other people who did not apply. That would be, within the range.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so 29th's good for everybody? All right, that's what we're going to go with. 29th, 6:30. You want to set up special? Would that be a special meeting, or I don't think we've set out our meeting schedule, did we? Oh, okay. No, I just wanted to make sure it got done. That's all I care. All right. Any other questions at this time? Any other business? Any other comments? Oh, I'm sorry, public comment. I apologize. No? Okay. All right. We're adjourned. I asked. I asked, does anybody?
Fastest gavel in the West.
By Thursday at 5.
That'll-